Good morning, Carrie.
Well, in the name of say, you can't come in here.
Mildred Washington was becoming very popular in the film industry. She appeared in 12 films doing small parts, but her presence, her beauty, and her vibrant personality was not small at all. She was another one of the few women who played a maid, but did not have that stereotypical look. But unfortunately, her tragic death at a very young age stopped her from making a bigger name for herself. Mildred Washington was born March 16, 1905 in Houston, Texas, to her parents Lily and Millard Washington. She was the third out of their 4 children. Her family moved to LA when she was 9 years old. Mildred was very intelligent and she took her education serious. She was fluent in Spanish and French, and she went to Los Angeles High School where she graduated as valedictorian. She later attended the University of California for 2 years before transferring to Columbia University. After finishing school, she wanted to become an actress. She started off acting in musicals, then she went on to work in nightclubs and theaters. For many years, she was a dance director and headliner at Sebastian's Cotton Club, and that was one of the popular jazz clubs back then in LA. Her first major role was in the musical called Hearts of Dixie in 1929, starring Stephen Fetchit. She played Trelia. Her most memorable role came a few years later in 1933. She played Carrie in the film called Torch Singer. This movie starred Claudette Colbert. Mildred played her maid, but they were more like friends, and this film was released one day after Mildred's death. Mildred was on her way to the top. She got good reviews on her performances, and studio producers loved her. She would get fan mail, requests for her autographed photo, and she was featured in many leading black publications and newspapers. Critics say she was just marvelous in all her roles. When watching her on screen, you would forget that she was supposed to be a maid. Mildred carried herself with respect, and she was very well spoken, and her bold personality showed. In her personal life, she got married when she was around 17 years old, and she had a daughter named Lily June the following year. Her and her husband were only married for a short time, and it's unknown when they got divorced. Outside of doing film, she did some things in the real estate industry. She was able to afford a nice big house, and she even had a maid. She was doing well for herself and was on her way to becoming a full-time actress. On March 10th in 1933 at 5:54 p.m., an earthquake took place in Long Beach, California. Mildred was working at Grauman's Chinese Theater at the time, and while the earthquake was taking place, she was running for cover, but she fell and injured herself. Her injuries resulted in appendicitis. 6 months later, she had to have surgery done because the complications from her appendicitis caused her to develop something life-threatening called peritonitis. On September 7th, she passed away at White Memorial Hospital. She was 28 years old. Some reports say that she passed away during surgery. The way she died was unexpected and is so sad, especially since she was so young. Mildred was buried in an unmarked grave at Rosedale Cemetery in Los Angeles. Her last couple of films were released shortly after her death. A Man of Sentiment was released a week later, and her final film, Only Yesterday, was released 2 months later. It is unknown what happened to her daughter Lily June after she passed away. Mildred graced the screen with her presence, even though it was only for a short time, but she was still an up-and-coming star, especially after her performance in the film Torch Singer. It's unfortunate that she didn't get to live to hear the great reviews she received. She has so much more to offer. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this queen. I hope you all stay blessed and are a blessing to others.
You're a builder-upper, a breaker-downer, a holder